Can you describe tango with one word? So answer this way. Tango is. This is not Jeopardy, but
everything.
Tango is.
Everything.
In a more specific, everything means.
It's like a totality of experience when it's good. It's all-encompassing, all-encompassing. Yeah, yeah.
Look at me over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what does tango with heart mean to you? What does it mean, first of all?
I think that tango with heart means the ability or the experience of two partners giving themselves to one another, to the music, and allowing that to happen, allowing the movement to come from the music and the sharing of the music with that partner. Yeah.
And tell me about your first encounter with the tango. When you started it, how you started it?
Well, I did tango as a teenager with a 16-year-old boyfriend. I was 15. I have no idea what kind of tango it was. And then I saw the show Tango Argentina, as many of us did, maybe 20 years ago. And I said to my husband, someday I'm going to do that. Someday I'm going to do that. And I know that Eduardo Arkenbaugh smiled at me in that show. I was sitting close. And so then some years later, I saw Master Class advertised, and that started me out. That was 17 years ago.
17 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have been dancing from the start until now, 17 years.
I would say really 15. The first 2 years, there were no teachers around. There were no milongas. My husband and I practiced in a garage once in a week for an hour. So that didn't really count. That didn't really count.
So what keeps you dancing tango? Pleasure, memory, nostalgia? What have you?
I have to. I have to. Tango has opened up a piece of me, maybe a piece of my heart that nothing else can replace. And I guess I need to keep filling that place.
Can you describe that? Can you elaborate a little more? You said you open you up. Can you describe before, maybe after?
I think the ability to share this intimate experience with another human being. At times I feel like I'm submerged into another person, like I don't know where I stop and he begins. And it's not just corporal, it's not just physical, it's a spiritual sort of place that we go to together. And it's transcendental. I don't know where I am. I don't care. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
about your process of learning tango. Started 17 years ago, and progression of your learning dance tango.
Well, I started, in this garage with some friends, came to Buenos Aires several times, and then came back with amigas. I took some classes here. I went to practicas. Mostly I went to milongas, and I think a lot of my learning has come from La Escuela de los Milongueros, just being there, just doing it. I've taken classes in technique along the way, but I think it's mostly being there and doing that. I don't know at what point you can say, I dance tango. I don't know at what point that happens. And it's ongoing. It never stops. It never stops.
Well, this is not the expression. La escuela de los milongueros. So
I just made it up. Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means that I've learned from dancing with different men in the milongas. I've learned to adapt to their different embraces. I've learned to experience the music differently. I've learned to let myself go. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's just doing it and being present. Just being present.
And does it mean that you giving up yourself? Currently, you adapting to other person, but does it mean you giving up or giving in? Can you describe that state of being?
Yeah, that's a good question. I used to think, what I understand is that following is my strong suit. I follow well. And I used to think that to follow well, all you had to do was to be passive, to allow yourself to be led. And I've come to realize and to understand that there's such a power in giving in to the embrace. There's so much that I can bring to the dance by not holding anything back. There's a power in that. I can bring my sense of the music, my musicality. It isn't like I attempt to lead or change the dance in any way, but I guess I enhance it with my presence.
It's very deep.
I know. But does that make any sense?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm trying to put it in perspective so that other people can understand. So, that's why I'm trying to go a little bit deeper. Can you give me some physical aspect? How do you dance with somebody? And his interpretation of the music is a little bit different from yours. How do you present your opinion of music, or do you do it? How do you being present without, let's say, leading? How would you do it?
I think probably I go with his interpretation of the music, and if it varies terribly from mine, then I don't dance with him again, honestly. It's so hard to explain, because I dance with men, so many men with different styles. So basically, yeah, I'm going with them. I'm going along with them. But maybe there's a place where I feel a pause, and the man allows me that, and so then we create something else together.
Okay. Good example. You gave a good example. So you want to pause. Okay. Music. Your interpretation of music calls for pause. Is there any technique or body language you use to transmit your message, your desire to pause? Can you think of anything?
I don't know. You dance with me. You tell me.
I don't know. It just flows.
It just happens. It just happens. When it's good, it just happens. Yeah.
Okay, let's sit back a little bit.
Okay.
Describe to me. Once you said, when it's good, it's good. So when it's good, describe to me the state of mind, state of being. What state of being which the state of being, can you describe it in one word? What is the word that describes the state of being?
Comfortable. An easiness, I think, with somebody. One word is really hard.
Yeah. What about pleasure?
Oh, bliss.
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 Bliss. Yeah.
And what is, and when you have this bliss, when you have this bliss, describe to me what's happening through your body, through your mind, whatever's happening.
Well, for me, it starts with the embrace. How the embrace initiates, how a man embraces me, how I embrace him, how our bodies sort of come together, and if it's comfortable physically, then that allows, I think, my spirit to just sort of go someplace else. If the physicality is comfortable, if he allows me, if he gives me enough room for an ocho, for instance, I mean, that's specific. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about, geez, how am I going to get around here? I don't have to think about that hurts my leg, or it's too rough. If it's comfortable, then I can absolutely let myself go and not think about any of that and just get into the music with him and the pleasure of it. The pleasure of moving with somebody else, like you were one person, is indescribable.
So how did you get there? What would you recommend to others to reach where you are in Tango?
You have to let go. Technique is important. You need a certain degree of technique for confidence, if nothing else. You need to know, be able to recognize certain leads and that sort of technical skills. But I think the main thing is to let go, to give yourself, and to wait for the lead. Don't anticipate, just wait, be there.
What recommendation would you give to a man to give such feelings to women when he dances with her?
Embrace, first of all. Embrace. It's so important. A man needs certainly a certain degree of technique, of skill. I'm not sure what it is that makes a woman feel safe in a man's arms, because that's part of it. That's part of the embrace. It is knowing that he will take care of you physically. You know, there's something lovely about a man. You're feeling a man's hand on your back, and he puts his hand out because someone's coming towards you, and he's protecting you. There's something about a man cradling you in his arms that makes you feel safe and secure and loved, I guess, for that moment. I don't know how a man gets there. I don't know. I'm not a man. It must be tough. You know, all of that, and traffic on the floor and leading and all of that. I guess doing it as well. Doing it.
Let me check.
Here. And I found that to be interesting, because I know I suffer certainly from a lack of embrace there, but I didn't realize that it was the same for a man.
That's, as I said, that's what I felt when I was in LA.
Yeah, just, where are you? Where are you? I can't find you. Danny, the one who, the video of Danielle, I was talking to him last week, and I said, it was mostly making conversation, but I said, do you find a great difference in the embraces of different women? And he gave me kind of a different aspect of it. He said, the embrace is between two people. So, you know, he has his embrace, I have my embrace, and we come together and it becomes our embrace, which is absolutely different from anybody else's embrace. So it's not the fact that his embrace is so wonderful or my embrace is so wonderful, it's the fact that our embrace becomes wonderful. And I never thought about it exactly that way.
I totally agree with him.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that man's skill is to boost his confidence in his embrace.
Yeah.
So the way I feel is, okay, I'm confident enough to embrace any woman. If the woman is open, if it comes to the same attitude, then I can make her feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And make perfect, good embrace together. So that's the emphasis. When I guess last 2.5 years, I improved that skill.
Oh yeah.
A lot. The irony is, to minimize, if I go out expecting to have same effect, same result, same return, women, at the same time, this dissatisfaction and disappointment is going up. So I have to kind of desensitize myself. Well, I'm outside, so let's not expect to go as mechanically. I have to train myself to become mechanical when I go out. That's very sad.
That's very sad. My friend Francis said to me, I think last year, he said, the more you dance tango, he said dancing tango is like a pyramid. The higher you go up, the narrower it becomes. And that's so true. The more you experience that infinite, transcendental quality of being totally immersed with this other person, the tougher it is to find. Yeah. The greater your ability to do that, the less the feel, the smaller the feel.
Yes, your choices will be limited.
That's right.
But even one dance with the woman I like to dance with, that makes a day.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday, there's one woman. I'm inviting her and her partner. Her partner Enrique we somehow chatted each other, and I asked him to describe Liliana's embrace. And he described beautifully. I was looking for that expression in my computer, but anyway, I told her I'd like to invite you guys to come for the interview, because she has this wonderful embrace. And the way Enrique described it, it's not strong, it's not weak, just right. And when I embrace her, when I dance with her, I don't even have to move. Just, she's there. As soon as I embrace her, just my breathing just down.
That's miraculous, isn't it? It's.
But again, choices are less and less.
Yeah.
Except yesterday, when I started going to Cachirulo, the women dancers like her age, she's about between 55, 60. Enough experience and appreciation of tango. So all the women's side was filled by women like her. They're not coming, and all the empty seats filled with young chicks, foreigners and running around and half naked. And it's not the same. I said, I'm done. It's not the same. I go. Again, it's just dilemma.
It is. I think I'm finding I'm more and more selective. I don't want to dance with lousy dancers, and I put my time in. And it's not always the level of skill. It's not always the level of skill. It's that embrace. It's that sometimes it's just a sweetness about your partner that.
Really, the skill is to make that happen.
Yeah.
Right? So it's skill, in mechanical sense.
Yeah.
But to be able to, as you put it, let go. That is a skill.
Oh yeah. And I'm not sure how that happens. But I, as you say, you go farther up and the field narrows and I would rather sit. I've gotten to the point where I would rather sit than have lousy dances, and lousy can be men who hurt me, men who twist my body, men whose embrace is inappropriate. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
You mentioned that each man has his style.
Mm-hmm.
Does his style mean, what does it mean? Is it something to do with his personality or the way he talks? And what is his style referring to?
I think it's movement, interpretation of the music, but the way that he moves his body, truly. With some men, there's a swooping kind of a thing. You feel like you're flying around the room. With some men, there's this circularity of movement. Where this beautiful dance can be created in no space at all to speak of. 3 feet square. And you just experience nirvana. Yeah, I think the different styles, it's just quality of movement along with the interpretation of the music.
Speaking of nirvana, do you see any link between tango and this Oriental ideas, philosophy or religion such as Zen, Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, or what have you?
I really am not knowledgeable about Oriental isms, as it were. I have the sense that they're very spiritual, but along with that, there's sort of an effect on your body, and certainly tango does that. It affects your spirit through the body, I guess.
What about your experience of Pilates? I understand you do Pilates.
Yes.
And do you find some similarities?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Part of it is the joy of movement. Tremendous joy of movement. And intensity of the movement, and allowing the movement to take you away from the physical world. Yeah, there's a, when you're really into it.
Take away from the physical world, and where does it go? Do you know? Can you describe where you're going?
Oh, I don't know. This wonderful, wonderful, maybe it's like heaven, I don't know. It's maybe it's inside, maybe it's just into your own soul. I don't know. But it's so real. It's so real. At the end of a tango, there are times where I don't know where I've been, and I have a hard time coming back to the reality of the dance floor. It's very deep.
Well, in a sense, you describe why, but can you say in your own word why you keep coming back to Buenos Aires?
Because I find something here that I don't find anyplace else. I love the culture. I love the way of living here. I love the cariñoso aspect of the culture, the people, and the tango. The tango here is like no place else in the world. And there are people from all over the world who come here, I think for that same reason, because they just can't get a hold of it anyplace else. I hear that from so many people, Canadians and French and Italians, and they just can't find that experience in other places.
Why can't they find that experience in the home country? That there's so many dancers, so many milongas, so many communities outside, and why do you think they cannot?
Maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe because Buenos Aires, Argentina has the kind of culture that it does. It allows tango to have become, or it has allowed tango to have become what it is. That's the only thing. I mean, I think about the way people are so uptight in the United States. I don't know how it is in Europe. I've not been there, but
Can you give me some examples in terms of cultural differences in Buenos Aires, which is tango culture, which is reflected in tango, and those in the United States, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the obvious ones are the way that people touch physically. You're introduced to someone here, and they kiss you. You go to a milonga, and you have to go around and kiss everybody. Hello? And then, of course, you have to go around and kiss everybody. Why? It takes forever, and it's wonderful. And people talk to you, and they touch you. They touch you on the arm. They put their arm around your waist. You see teenage boys on the street greeting one another with a kiss on the cheek. It's a very, very touchy-feely, warm, loving culture. In the United States, you're introduced to someone, maybe you shake hands, maybe you don't. So oftentimes, family members don't embrace, at least the male members don't. I think that's changing a little bit. People are afraid of the touch. There's like a wall between people.
Why do you think it is? Why do they put the wall?
Fear.
Fear of?
I don't know, maybe fear of intimacy, maybe. Fear of getting too close to somebody else. And tango really allows you, if you let it, to overcome that fear of intimacy, because it's safe. Yeah, for 3 minutes, it's safe to feel everything that you're feeling.
You mean giving everything you have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what do you receive?
If it's good, the bad, the same.
What makes milonga a good milonga? So what is the elements of being good milonga? Milonga you like to go.
Music. Good music has to be good music. It has to be music that makes you want to move. The friendliness of the organizers, and I think the openness of the people there, the friendliness. There are milongas that are so snooty, they are so closed to anyone new. I think that's a lousy milonga, personally. So when you go a place and the music is good and the organizers welcome you and they find you a seat, that's important too. Because it can be frustrating, it can be almost embarrassing to wander around looking for a place to sit. It doesn't make you feel very welcome. And then when the people are nice, when they seem happy to see you, and they dance with you, hey, that makes a good milonga.
In fact, you're the first one to mention organizer. I mean, to me, organizer is important.
Oh, yeah.
Good place to dance.
Yes, of course, the environment as well. It helps if the place is beautiful, like Grisel. It helps. But there are other places where the place itself is not physically so beautiful, but because the organizers are warm and friendly and the people, then the place has a beauty of its own.
Let's talk about this transmission. They talk about transmission, for example. When they dance tango, they transmit something and receive something. So something's going on between two partners. Probably invisible or not.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it is? What is transmitting? What is receiving? Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. I think it's love. I think it's a kind of love. It's love for the music, love for the movement, and allowing yourself to feel that, to feel that intimacy with someone, to not be afraid of his body being close to yours. A teacher told me once about breathing with your partner. And sometimes that happens. It's like you're sharing a breath. And sometimes you don't know. You don't know where you stop and he starts. There's a merging that goes on. I think it's a merging of hearts, maybe. A merging of souls. In that embrace with that music. Whew. Want to go do it? It's.
Some people say tango is an addiction like drug. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
So what is the difference between addiction? I mean, what is it good or bad? Why is it addiction? Tango.
Because once you have experienced this, really experienced it, then it's such a high. It's so deep, but it's such a high. Boy, you want more of it. You just keep going back. It's like your soul becomes starved for that. A friend of mine who just arrived from Canada not too long ago said, I'm starved for tango. I am desperate to dance tango.
What are they looking for?
I think it's that intimacy. I think it's that embrace. It's the sharing the music and the embrace with somebody, and that place that it takes you to, that otherworldly sort of experience that's so gorgeous.
Why can't they find it in their place? Is it?
Well, maybe the culture does not allow it. The particular tango scene in many cultures right now is a lot of steps and show stuff and flying around the room and gauchos and open, you know. That's not the same.
When you're home, you dance a lot with many.
No. No. I go out once a week, sometimes twice. I will go out sometimes to a milonga to be with friends, and to support this particular organizer. I like him and his lady friend very much, but I go knowing that I will not have good dances. And where I am in LA, the community is so fragmented. It's not a huge community, and it's so fragmented that it's hard to find a place where I feel at home, where I feel comfortable. And there are many, many very young people, and they don't want to dance with me, which is fine. Yeah.
So one time you mentioned about being women in tango in Buenos Aires, compared to the one at home. You described to me the difference. Can you repeat that?
Well, yeah. I'm older than many women who dance tango. In the United States.
Can you start with this expression of wallpaper?
Yeah. It's true. I was getting there. Yeah. The United States is such a youth-oriented culture that beyond the age of about 50, 55, then you become part of the wallpaper. And it's not just in tango. It's all over the place. I mean, that's just a part of the culture. If you're not 22 and weigh 98 pounds, then you got a tough road to hoe. And here, the men like women. They like women. They like women of all ages. They like women of all sizes and shapes. They don't care if you're carrying 5 extra pounds. They don't care if you have a few wrinkles here and there. They don't care. They like women. So to be here is it's such a wonderful, and it's sort of a revitalizing experience. I feel more valuable here. I feel more valued here as a woman. And well, I feel more feminine here. I feel younger. I feel more vital. And I feel more appreciated as a woman.
You said feminine. Okay. No, that's not it. I was going to feminism, femininity of feminism. That's two different things. We're not going to get into politics or anything.
Well, I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, but why not? Why is there something to do with feminism in the States? For example, there's a difference between femininity
and
feminism.
feminine. Oh, you bet. maybe that's part of it. There's a tango that says tango is macho, and tango is a very, very macho phenomenon. The man leads and you follow. In the United States, there's this feministic thing where women have had to fight so hard for their rights and to be considered equal to men. But here, dancing tango, you become so aware of I guess it's the yin and yang, the masculine and the feminine, and it's wonderful to be able to allow yourself to be that feminine person and to be embraced by that masculinity and to allow that wonderful thing to happen between the two of you. Yeah, I'm a very strong woman, but in the tango, I allow myself completely, and I treasure that, being able to be taken care of, to be led, to be able to give myself.
So then, you sound like a passive. You talked about lead and follow. Does it mean that you become passive, or?
I don't think so. I used to think so. I don't think so anymore. I think maybe I become pliable, flexible, perhaps, available. And there's a difference. There's a difference.
You mentioned many times, let go. You have to let go. Does it mean, that's one expression in tango, the surrender?
Mm-hmm.
Is it related?
Yes, yes. Yeah, there's a surrender, but I don't think it's exactly passive.
Surrender to what?
To the embrace, to my partner, to his musicality, but I think bringing my own sense of musicality to it.
But in that sense, surrender to your partner, surrender to the music, do you think leader mm-hmm. has to do the same? Is it surrender to you? Is it mutual surrendering or just one side?
No, I think perhaps there's a sort of surrender that a man does. I don't know. I have absolutely no interest in leading. I never have. So I've not experienced that. But I think maybe there is a surrender to what is there.
My opinion is this: man has to also surrender mm-hmm. to the embrace. You said, mention surrender to embrace, surrender mm-hmm. to music. So mm-hmm. let go. I mean, to me, let go means surrender. Let something guide you. Music inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you use the pliable. You use the word flexible.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that a lot of things happen moment by moment from women, from any situation, from music. You should be able to adapt mm-hmm. to the moment, to the situation, moment by moment. Mm-hmm. In a sense, surrendering is happening to partners.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's some men who. I'm finding, boy, this is endless. You know, you just keep learning. You just keep learning with the tango. I don't think there's ever a place that you can say, okay, I'm there. It's a continuing kind of thing. And I'm finding more and more that I enjoy dancing with men who allow me to move my body the way that feels good to me within what it is we're experiencing together. And there are who their embrace is so their whole way of movement is so hard, and it's so
aggressive.
Yeah, it doesn't allow for any expression from me. It's like it's hard, and it's inflexible. It's inflexible. You know, this is the way it's going to be, and I don't really enjoy that. I don't really enjoy that, and it's hard. It's sort of hard to explain that difference. Yeah, too controlling, I guess. Too controlling. That's what it is. It's controlling. Because I am so absolutely willing and thrilled to be led, but I don't like feeling that I'm controlled, I guess. It just doesn't enter into the picture, really.
In my experiences, I don't control. I don't lead. I lead myself. Expression I like to use is body moves, mind flows. Mm-hmm. So I treat my partner as a mind flows. So to make mind flows, I have to make my way. I can move my body so that mind flows. That way, or this way. Mm-hmm. For example, water is there and it's going, and you can make a way so that water flows direct that direction. You cannot grab and move.
Yeah. Yeah.
That takes a long time to learn.
Yeah. So you're moving your body, and somehow you're taking your partner with you, but it's not a control sort of thing. And I know, I feel that with you. I don't know how it happens.
It's flowing. It flows without glitch. Mm-hmm. So I have to make my body proper direction, proper speed, proper position, angle, so that from one position to the next, woman's body is flowing. Mm-hmm. Without looks like effortlessly.
Yes, without. Yeah, without effort, that effortless sort of fluidity.
Yeah. So, if there's a sharp angle, it will give you impact, shock. But without shock, everything goes around. Mm-hmm. So make a right angle to make a turn nicely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The constant. Each movement is different. But I feel I'm getting better and better to make this round movement. Yeah,
that round movement, that fluidity. That takes a lot of practice. I dance with this one fella who has not been dancing tango too long. He really works at it, and he's getting better all the time. And what I'm finding is that with someone who's not terribly experienced, the movement can be, it doesn't have that fluidity, it doesn't have that roundness. He'll try to take me around into a hero, and I can feel him. It's a square sort of a thing. And when you get to a certain point, you lose that squareness. It feels almost as though you're on wheels at times with some partners, because there's such a fluidity. Yeah, it's. Yeah.
One more thing is I had a contact with a guy from Switzerland. He said he's a Tai Chi teacher. He's teaching Tai Chi, and he came, called me and asked me whether there is a movement with H shape in Tango. Right? I said, why? He's teaching. He's under some school where they believe our contact, we are energy being, right? So our energy entity, and there's an inside core of energy and outer shell, right? Mm-hmm. Each person carries it. So from inside to outside, this connection is made by A shape, which is infinity sign, right, in mathematics. Mm-hmm. So everything is flowing this way, right? And also he said, what they believe here is we are connected to Earth being with H shape, right? That's energy connection. That on top we are connected to the universe to H shape. I said, yeah, we do a lot of culture, all the movement. If you go and watch people, all the movement is straight walk is rare. Yeah, we practice straight walk. But if you watch them dance, if you even watch them walk straight, always cross leg and handshake. It's natural progression. We don't know why, but once you reach a certain level, all the movement becomes cultural. So even when you turn like this, not like.
Yeah.
Well, we covered a lot. So, is there anything you'd like to add to promote tango to others?
Well, I would say cuidado. It changes your life. It changes your life. So it's so hard to express the joy and the pleasure and the intimacy that you feel with another human being, the pleasure of the music, how the music just can take you to heights. Maybe a tango that you hear every day of your life and have for 15 years can still just send you over the top. There's just nothing like it. It's not harmful to your body. It's good for you.
Do you think it's necessary to, as a tango dancer, to come to Buenos Aires?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't think you're going to experience tango anyplace else in the world the way that you do here. It comes from the culture, the way that the people are together, the way the life is. People have hard times here, and they have for a long, long time. But they still enjoy, they still lose themselves in the tango for the moment. And they tend to live for the moment here.
Now, I give you one more chance to describe tango with one word.
Oh!
You still stay with or you'd like to change? Tango
I
is?
guess pleasure. Pleasure.
Tango is what?
Pleasure. Yeah, that's perhaps more encompassing than the pleasure comes in all forms. There's the pleasure of the music, the pleasure of the embrace, the pleasure of the intimacy, the pleasure of the feeling of love. It's all pleasure. Yeah, feels so good.